I didn't fall in love with him because he was perfect. I fell in love because he showed me the one thing I had been starving for my whole life. Attention that felt safe, and maybe that's why. I didn't notice the warnings, the late replies, the hidden calls, the nights he disappeared, right when I needed him the most. But nothing prepared me for the moment I discovered the truth. He wasn't lying to me because he wanted to hurt me. He was lying because he didn't want me to know who he really was. When the lights were off and no one was watching, this isn't a story about betrayal. It's a story about the moment you realize the person you loved is just a mask, hiding someone you were never meant to meet. And once you see behind that mask, you can never unsee it. I met him on a night I wasn't supposed to be awake. It was 2:15 a.m. The world outside was silent, the kind of silence that makes your thoughts louder than they're meant to be. I couldn't sleep. My chest felt heavy. My mind felt loud. And the loneliness in my apartment hung in the air like thick fog. So I opened an anonymous late-night chat forum, a place people used when they had nowhere else to talk. I wasn't looking for anything. Not friendship. Not conversation. Definitely not love. Just silence I didn't have to explain. And then he messaged me. "You're awake. Are you hurting or thinking?" The simplicity of the question stopped me. There are people who ask, "What's wrong?" And then there are people who ask a question that sounds like they already understand your pain. I replied, "Thinking." He replied instantly, "That kind of thinking that keeps you awake, or the kind that keeps you alive." I froze. Who talks like that at 2:17 a.m.? Who asks questions that sound like they came from inside your chest? I typed, "Both." He answered, "Then I guess we're the same." Just 7 words. But they didn't feel like a stranger's introduction. They felt like a confession. We talked for minutes, then hours. He told me his name was Aiden, a name that sounded soft, but carried something heavy behind it. He didn't flirt. He didn't ask for pictures. He didn't try to charm me. He talked like someone who had been walking barefoot on life for far too long. He said, "Most people talk to fill silence. You talk to survive it." My breath caught in my chest. He spoke in a way that made me feel seen, in a way I wasn't ready for. I typed, "How do you know that?" He replied, "'Cause that's how I talk too. Something warm, dangerous, and unfamiliar settled in the space between us. Night after night, we found each other online. 2:17 a.m. 1:52 a.m. 3:11 a.m. It didn't matter. He always appeared. At the exact moment, my heart felt too heavy. Sometimes he was quiet. Sometimes he was poetic. Sometimes he said things so emotionally accurate that it scared me. Like, have you ever felt like you're made of soft things, but the world keeps asking you to be sharp? Or, some people are storms, Natasha. They ruin you once and leave. But the dangerous ones are the calm ones who slowly wash you away. I didn't know why, but everything he said felt like he was describing me, or himself, or both of us. Eventually, he asked for a voice call, not in a flirty way, not in a rushed way, just softly. He said, "Sometimes voice is easier than typing." I hesitated. My heart raced. I didn't know this man, but I felt him. And feelings are more dangerous than knowledge. Still, I said yes. When he spoke, I felt everything inside me stop. His voice wasn't deep. It wasn't attractive in a traditional way. It was something else. Something warm, wounded, and weary. He sounded like someone who spent years holding other people together, while slowly falling apart himself. He said my name like he had said it 1,000 times before. Natasha. Just one word. But he said it with a kind of softness that made me feel like he already knew where my scars were. Over the next few weeks, he unfolded slowly, like someone who had been locked away too long and forgot how to trust sunlight. He told me he struggled with sleep. He told me he lost someone important. He told me there were things he carried that he wasn't ready to explain yet. He said, I don't open up to people, not because I don't want to, but because they leave the moment they see the parts I hide. I whispered, I'm not going anywhere. He replied, that's what scares me. I didn't understand then, but later, I would realize that the people who fear losing you the most are often the ones hiding the deepest truths. It wasn't love, not yet. It was a quiet dependence, a connection that felt too precise, to be accidental. He knew when I was sad, even before I said a word. He knew when I was pretending to be okay. He knew when I smiled through pain. He once said, your pauses speak louder than your sentences. And I once told him, you talk like you've lived too many lives in one lifetime. He answered, maybe I have. I laughed. He didn't. He never did. But then something happened. Something small, barely noticeable. A slip, a crack, a moment. One night, his voice changed. He sounded distracted, uneasy, like his mind was somewhere else. I asked, Aiden, are you okay? He replied too quickly, yeah, I'm fine. But his voice trembled on the word fine. I didn't press, but I felt it. Something was shifting, something he was hiding. And the next night, he didn't show up. For the first time since we met, Aiden was gone. No message, no call, no explanation. Just silence, the kind of silence that isn't empty, but full of something dark, something heavy, something waiting to be discovered. When he finally messaged me again, it was 3:59 a.m. Just 3 words. Words that made my heartbeat twist into knots. We need talk. No punctuation. No warmth. Just urgency. Something was wrong. Very wrong. I typed. Aiden, what happened? After a long pause, he replied, I didn't want you to find out this way. My fingers froze over the screen. Find out what? But his next message was the one that changed everything. The one that turned curiosity into fear. The one that made the whole story crack open from the inside. He wrote, there's something I never told you about who I really am. And that was the moment. I realized something terrifying. You never really know a person until you hear the truth they were most afraid to say. For a long moment, I just stared at the message. There's something I never told you about who I really am. It felt like the air in my room shifted, like the temperature dropped, or the walls moved closer. I typed, Aiden, what are you talking about? He didn't reply. 1 minute passed, then 5, then 10. Finally, my phone lit up. Incoming call, Aiden. My heartbeat stuttered. I answered. His breathing was shaky, not like someone who was crying, but like someone who was trying very hard not to. I whispered, Aiden, tell me what's going on. He didn't speak for almost 10 seconds, and then he said something that didn't match the person I knew. His voice, it wasn't soft. It wasn't poetic. It wasn't the voice of the man who held my pain so gently. It was empty. Natalie, listen. Natalie, my world stopped. Aiden, why did you call me Natalie? He froze. I heard it. His breathing hitched. Then he whispered, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... But you did, I said softly. You said it too naturally. Who is Natalie? He didn't answer. My hands started shaking. Aiden, look me in the eye, even if it's just through your voice, and tell me who Natalie is. He exhaled shakily. She's someone from my past. I felt something inside me twist. How far past? Years, he whispered. Years ago. And why do you say her name instead of mine? His silence said everything. I swallowed hard. You're still talking to her. No, he whispered. I'm not. I promise. I'm not talking to her. Then why is her name the one that slips out when you forget to pretend? He went quiet again, this time longer. Then he said, because she's the person. I've been trying to stop being. I froze. What does that mean? Aiden inhaled. Long, slow, tortured. Natasha, I haven't been lying to you. Not about my feelings. Not about the things I told you at night. All of that was real. Then what did you lie about? He answered in a voice that didn't sound like him at all. Everything else. My heart dropped. What is everything else? My name, he whispered. My life. My job. My past. Where I am. Who I was. My breath trembled. Aiden, who are you? Silence. Then. My name isn't Aiden. Everything around me. Blurred. My voice broke. Then what's your real name? He whispered. It's Adrian. A cold shock ran through my body. Adrian. An ordinary name. Simple. But coming from him, it felt like a stranger was suddenly standing. Where the man I knew used to be. I whispered. Why did you lie about your name? He exhaled painfully. 'Cause Adrian was someone I didn't want to be anymore. And Aiden? Aiden was the version of me I wanted you to meet. My chest caved in. You invented a person. To talk to me? No, he said quickly. I didn't invent him. He's real. He's me. He's the part of me I wanted to keep. I whispered. And the rest? The rest is the reason I disappeared. Something darker entered his voice. A heaviness. Like he was carrying something that had claws. I forced myself to ask. What happened, Adrian? He didn't answer. Not at first. Then, just when I thought he wouldn't speak, he whispered. I didn't leave because I stopped caring. I left because someone found me. Someone. My pulse quickened. Who found you? Another silence. Longer than before. Then he said a name that sent a chill through my entire body. Natalie. My hand went cold. She found you? Yes. And what did she want? He swallowed hard. I could hear it. She wanted to know if I had finally told the truth. What truth? He exhaled. Shaky, scared, fragile. The truth about why I left her. Why I changed my name. Why I disappeared. And why I'm terrified to let anyone get close to me again. I whispered. Adrian, what did you do? His voice broke. I didn't hurt her. Not the way you think. Then what happened? He inhaled sharply, like he was about to rip open a wound. That never healed. She tried to destroy her life because she thought I didn't love her. My blood ran cold. And when she survived, her family blamed me. Her friends blamed me. I blamed myself. I couldn't breathe. That's why I changed everything. My name. My number. My entire life. That's why I became Aiden. Because Adrian was the man she tried to die for. My voice trembled. Adrian, why didn't you tell me? His voice shattered. Because I didn't want you to be afraid of me. A tear rolled down my face. I am not afraid of you, I whispered. I'm afraid of what you're not telling me. He was silent. Completely silent. I pushed gently. What happened when she found you? His voice dropped to a whisper that barely held itself. She told me she still loves me. My heart twisted painfully, and she said something else. What? I whispered. She said, if I fall in love again, she won't survive it. A chill ran through my bones. Natasha. His voice trembled. Raw, broken, afraid. That's why I shouldn't have fallen for you. My breath stopped. He inhaled shakily, You weren't supposed to matter this much. I closed my eyes, my heart breaking softly, but before I could speak, he whispered one last confession, the one that shattered everything. And if she finds out about you, I don't know what she'll do. When Adrian whispered that he didn't know what Natalie would do if she found out about me, I felt my entire body go cold. Not fear, but a strange, heavy understanding that the story I stepped into was darker than anything I imagined. I whispered, "Adrian, are you saying she might hurt herself again?" He exhaled shakily. "I don't know. I just know she's unstable. And she told me there's no life for her. If I move on." I swallowed hard. "And did you tell her? You've moved on?" He didn't speak. That silence was the answer. I closed my eyes, whispering, "So I'm a secret." His breath broke.
No.
"You're the only real thing I've had in years. Then why am I hidden? Because if she finds out, she'll destroy herself, and she'll destroy me with her." My voice shook. "Adrian, people don't own other people's futures." He whispered, "Natalie does. She owns mine." Something inside my chest cracked softly, a quiet, painful sound that only the heart can hear. The next night, I got a call from an unknown number. When I answered, no one spoke, just breathing, not heavy breathing, not angry breathing, just broken. Then a soft voice whispered, "You're Natasha." My blood froze. It was her. "Natalie." I opened my mouth, but no words came out. She whispered again, barely audible, "You're the reason he doesn't answer the phone anymore." I felt the room spin. "Natalie, I didn't know." "You didn't know?" Her voice cracked. Not with anger, but with devastation. "Do you know how long I've loved him? Do you know how many times I begged him not to give up on me?" I swallowed hard. "Natalie, you shouldn't be calling me. Who else do I have?" She whispered, "Who else will listen to me? Who else knows him like we do?" Her voice broke into small, painful pieces. I thought I was getting better. I thought I was healing, but then I felt him slipping away again. And I knew. Someone else whispered his name, the way I used to. My chest tightened. "Natalie, I'm not trying to replace you." "I know," she whispered. "That's what scares me." I froze. "What do you mean?" Her breathing grew uneven. "I know he loves you." My breath caught. "No, he doesn't." "You don't hear him when he says your name, do you?" She said softly. That soft sigh at the end. The way his voice changes. The way he pauses before telling me goodbye. Her words hit places I didn't know were vulnerable. She whispered, "I had him first. But you have him now." A tear slid down my cheek. "Natalie, you're stronger than you think." "No," she cried. I'm not strong. That's why he stayed. That's why he lied. That's why he became someone else. Because he couldn't carry the real me anymore." She sounded like a child who lost her home. I whispered carefully, "Natalie, please, don't hurt yourself." She paused. Then she said the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. "I won't hurt myself, but I can't promise I won't hurt him. If he leaves me again." Ice shot through my veins. "Natalie, what are you saying?" She exhaled shakily. "You don't understand. He promised me. He promised he wouldn't love someone else. He promised he'd stay until I healed." My heart dropped. "And if he breaks that promise, I don't know what I'll do." The line went silent. Then she whispered, "Loving him was the only thing keeping me alive. Losing him will be the only thing that kills me." And she hung up. I sat there for minutes, breathing like the air was poised. I didn't know what to do, what to tell Adrian, what to tell myself. All I knew was this. I couldn't be with a man whose past wasn't past. It was a living ghost haunting every room he tried to enter. That night, Adrian called. His voice was shaky, desperate. "Natasha, she called you, didn't she?" I couldn't lie. "Yes." He swallowed hard. "What did she say?" I whispered. "Enough." He exhaled like he'd been stabbed. "Natasha, I'm so sorry. I didn't want you involved in this. I didn't want her to bring you into the hell. I've been living." I closed my eyes. "Adrian, you're not living in hell. You're living in guilt." "I know," he whispered. "I know. I've been trapped for so long. I don't know how to walk away without killing someone emotionally." My voice cracked, and that's exactly why. "I can't be with you." He was silent, completely silent. Then, in the softest voice, he said, "Please don't leave me." My heart shattered. "Adrian, if I stay, I'll drown with you, and you'll drown with her, and none of us will survive this." He cried, not loudly, but in that quiet, hopeless way that tells you a person has run out of places to break. I whispered one last thing. "You don't have to choose between us, Adrian. You have to choose yourself. Because until you do, you'll destroy anyone who tries to love you." He inhaled sharply. "Natasha, I think I'm in love with you." A tear rolled down my cheek. "And I think you mean that," I whispered. "But love isn't enough when you're still owned by your past." Silence. Pure, painful silence. And I said the last line, before ending everything. "I hope you find the man you are pretending to be." And I hung up. Not out of anger, not out of fear, out of survival. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let go of someone who doesn't know how to stop bleeding on people who didn't cut them.